This is a video mostly for my father, who had the real joy of having this thing strand us at an intersection in the city that I live, and I had to get a tow truck home. This thing would cough and spit, but it wouldn't start, and I pulled the plugs out, and they were dripping wet, and I really didn't know what was going on with this one. I had tried everything that I knew, and so this is the engine is a 1963 194 cubic inch Chevy engine. This distributor is out of a 1981 250 cubic inch Chevy pickup. Now that's an HEI, which means that there's no points in it. That yellow wire is what powers it. New plugs, new wires, new cap, new rotor. Brand new carburetor. Now, I could not get this thing to draw vacuum at all. I just couldn't get anything. Wouldn't read on my vacuum gauge. I went and I did a compression test, and they're all about 125, between 120 and 125, all six of them, and which is plenty for it to run, but run it would not. And so I couldn't figure this out. And so finally today I pulled the valve cover off again, made sure I was on number one cylinder, top dead center, and then I went underneath and found out that the timing mark was way off. It was nowhere near the indicator. So I rotated it by wrench back to where it was sort of in the middle, and checked the distributor, or checked where the rotor was, and it was way off. So I retimed it, and it started, and it ran badly, but it did run, and now I have vacuum. So why is it running badly? This doesn't make any sense. The spark is good, the timing is good, the ignition is good. The only other thing it can be is fuel. Fuel pump is brand new. Fuel filter is in good shape. What is it? This stupid air cleaner that used to come all the way down here, it was a chrome thing, supposed to look vintage, wouldn't let enough air in. And you can see I've even cut the whole thing off. I did this before. It was like this. But it's the filter itself will not let enough air in the engine. I took this off the engine. I timed it. I timed it properly. It runs great. I mean, it runs really good, so long as there's no air cleaner on it. So I pulled, this is the old air cleaner that I pulled off. It needs an actual new filter element in it. It's old and it's clogged, but this thing runs with this on. And that's what killed us last time, my father and I, was it had no... it had not enough air. So let me just... Oh, sorry, guys. Let me just fire this up for us so we can hear it run. Whoops. We would hear it run, except that somebody shut the power off. It was me. Perfect. No goofy smoke. No dieseling. No pinging. Has as much power as this engine will ever have. Got about 30 psi oil pressure. I'm going to show you a few other things that I've done to this just because it's interesting. New master cylinder. This is a new alternator down there. This is the old alternator here, which is rebuilt and ready to go. Comes with this voltage regulator external. I wanted a one-wire alternator, and so I made my own. And I did that by coming off of the B post and running that back to the spade, and then the A post, running it to a switched 12-volt source. And so I've got 14 volts consistently on this thing all the time. The lights never dim. It's great. It is internally regulated, so I don't need to worry about that. That is every old Chev that I have, I'm going to do that with now. It's just too easy, and it works really well. So ignition is done, charging system is done, brakes are done. I need to do some wheel cylinders. The electrical is basically done. Power steering works really well, one finger power steering, but it leaks everywhere, so that needs to get fixed. Suspension is all there, but all needs to be replaced. And front end is pretty loose, so that needs to be done. But we have a running, driving vehicle, and I am pretty excited. This is, I just drove it for about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, which is the longest I've ever driven this thing, ever. Even if you add them all up, that's the longest I've ever driven this. And it was flawless. I came home and gave my wife her first ride in it. Tomorrow, I want to pressure wash everything, clean it all up, and then we're going to continue to work on this. So, pretty excited about this. Anyway, Dad, that's what went wrong. It was the dumb air filter. You would not believe how long it took me to find that.